Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Renee, and this is Forever World Building, a weekly Minecraft long play series where we are very cute and cozy as we build this world. Oh, cottage-core as well. I forgot to mention that. This is our cute, cozy cottage-core world. And we've got a new little setup here. We have some background music, so let me know what you guys think. If the levels are weird with the music, if it's too soft or too loud, let me know. I wanted to do some Minecraft style music, but this is a little bit of a remix, kind of chill hop lo-fi songs. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you to Steve5 for the playlist. You can check him out on YouTube. Hello, everyone. We're gonna get right into it. Let me switch over to our play screen. There we go. So we have a lot to do today. We are starting a brand new build. This is a bit of a bigger build. It's going to go in this space behind me over to my right, your left, where we've already done a little bit of terraforming. It's going to be mechanically, for Minecraft, it's going to be a sort of dye farm where we can create dyes for anything we might need, and it'll have the materials as well as sort of a storage area for them. And then within the lore and the world building, it's going to be a dye shop. So the owner is someone who grows the raw materials, collects them, and kind of processes them and creates the dyes to sell to the textile merchants here. So again, kind of going a bit more into the world building. Hello in the chat, you tell me. Hi, what's going on? So I also, in this process, want to show you exactly how I plan builds from start to finish. So we're taking a little snapshot here. I'm going to shoot over to this document that I have set up. So I like to be very organized, and I like to list out everything I'm gonna need. I like to draw little diagrams here, as you can see. So I'm gonna take you through my sort of plans for this whole build. So as you can see, it's going to cover this entire space here. And at the top, we're gonna have a big cactus farm. That's sort of the plan for today, is to kind of lay all of the dimensions for this out, do some terraforming, and then build the actual cactus farm so we can get that going, because I'm gonna need a lot of green dye for future builds. It's gonna be automatic as well. So the cactus farm, attached to the cactus farm, is going to be a house and a store. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Grandpa Meatball says, excited to see how this process becomes reality. Thank you. I am excited too. I'm actually very excited for this build. I'll show you guys my vision for it, and I hope it turns out well. So again, we have the cactus farm here. There's going to be a little storefront that's going to be the storage as well for all of the dyes, and then a little house on the back end for the villager that actually lives here. We're going to have a couple of farms in this flat area. It's going to be cocoa beans. What else? Oh, glow lichen and glowberries. We're going to install a little pond here. If you know, on the other side of this little ridge is a pond, and we're going to do one sort of mirroring it on this side. And the idea is that there's maybe like a deep wellspring underneath the ground here that's kind of sort of rising up to the top and coming out on both sides of this little ridge. We'll have some storage here for bone meal, because we're going to need a lot of bone meal. And then this whole area down here is going to be a sort of tiered farm. So we'll have beetroot at the top and then flower fields for all sorts of colors of flowers because we need those for the dyes. And then we're gonna adjust this path here to just kind of come to the right a little bit, and we're gonna build a retaining wall. I'm actually very excited to build a retaining wall, if you can believe it. So I've made some notes over here for the design. I want to build a green roof with grass and moss. We'll put barrels at the base of wooden supports, and I want to incorporate glow lichen. I haven't done much of that before. The villager that's going to live here will need an ink sac trade to get black dye. And then here's just some more notes on everything that we're going to build. So the auto cactus farm, the dye shop front, bone meal storage, I mentioned all of that. Here's the farms that we're gonna need, manual farms, not automatic, and then all of the flowers that we need to collect and plant. So a lot to do, but you gotta start somewhere, right? And then I just wanna show you guys some of my inspiration, visual inspiration from other Minecraft builders. This is my Pinterest account. This is where I get a lot of this. So, for example, here's sort of, I think this is Mizunos as well, but this has the green sort of moss and dirt roof. Here are some examples for these like hanging glowberries. I think that's gonna look really cute for this farm. Another example here of the glowberries and the cocoa beans. And then here's just another sort of green roof build, also in Mizunos. So that's the plan. But first we need to do some terraforming, and we need to lay out sort of the dimensions for all of this, and we need to build the cactus farm. So let's get right back to it. Let's hop into Minecraft once more. We're gonna leave this big scaffolding tower here. I'm gonna come all the way back down. All right, I think I actually, let's start planning out the farm. So I like to use netherrack. Hold on, let's throw this egg. No chicken. Okay, I like to use netherrack because it's super easy to build and to tear down. And it stands out really well against the green here, especially this purple color from the Mizunos. So we're gonna come over here. I think that this build is going to sort of come directly up to the cliffside here, as close as possible. And then let's see, I know we're gonna move this path, so we can maybe do this here. How many across is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll come over here, line this up. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, and then we'll count back this way. I think we might bring it out a little further. I'm gonna leave some room. Take that down with the pickaxe. Actually, let's make this a little easier. We can put the netherrack in our offhand and have the pickaxe here. Okay. So that's sort of an approximate idea. I think we might need to bring this back more. And I think it's okay if the sort of shop end of the house sticks out a little further, because we're gonna need to separate this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's go back one more, 4. And then I might also bring this back a little further. Let me know what you guys think of the music. I'm a big fan of the sort of instrumental, lo-fi, kind of chill hop stuff. I think that helps me kind of focus and concentrate. And then these are also remixed from Minecraft songs. So they should sound familiar. They should sound like Minecraft. If you're hanging out in the chat, chatting or lurking, thank you for being here. Please also hit the like button. That does really help me out and helps get this stream out to more people who might also enjoy it. We'll take a little sleep and we're gonna come back up our scaffolding tower. And see if we have enough room, if we have laid this out well. How's that look? I think that's good. Okay. Now I want to do some measurements for the automatic farm. Because we need to be a little more precise with that. We're gonna need some water buckets. I think I forgot to gather those, which is fine. We can just steal some of the buckets from the blacksmith over here. The blacksmith does still need a name, by the way. If you have any name suggestions for him, please drop them in the chat or the comments below. We've got a couple buckets and there is water on the other side of this hill. That should be pretty infinite. Hello, Iron Golem. Look at his head gleaming in the sun. I hope he's having a good day. All right, let's come into our pond. Okay, so see what you mean? See what you mean? See what I mean? I'm the one talking here. So see what I mean, how there's water coming out on this side. So we're gonna do basically the same thing on the other side and also have a little pond. So let's come over here. And let's see, I'm gonna place down some more netherrack because we need to see, I need to see how far the water travels before it stops. Okay, so I set it down here. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay guys, help me remember 8. And then that's going to be sort of our center, our base. And then we need to make sure that the walls go out far enough on both sides to leave room to walk around. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 2 extra on this side. If we add 1 more here, then it'll be 2 extra on the right, 2 extra on the left. And then now we need to count. So that's how wide our farm is going to be. And then now we need to count deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I think we can actually do a little less. What we're gonna have basically is a grid of cactus kind of set one block apart from each other. So it'll be like cactus, empty space, cactus, empty space, cactus. And then when the cactus breaks, we're gonna set up fences. When the cactus breaks from the fences, they'll fall, and there's gonna be like water flowing from this side all the way down to this side. And when the cactus fall, they're gonna fall in the water and float down. And then float down this way and then collect into some hoppers and chests that are gonna be over here. So I think if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then the water will, if we start the water at 7, it'll go down to 8 and then automatically flow down without needing to place another water block. And we'll have a row of water this way flowing to the left, and then a couple rows on this way flowing to the left again to all collect. So another thing we're also gonna do is build this farm up higher, sort of on a second story, so that the water will fall, or the cactus will fall and collect on the first story, going down some hoppers. This is the first time I'm attempting a build like this, especially building a farm first and then the building around it. So I do think it'll be easier to build the farm first because we can always adjust the terrain and the terraforming as needed. But it's just about trying to visualize and plan it out and then executing. And this always happens, at least in some of my builds, that I build something and I put it all up and then I have to tear it down and redo it again. So if that happens, I just want you guys to be prepared. Okay. Let's adjust this. And if we're gonna start, okay, I'm gonna do 2 blocks high. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 blocks high to remind me that this is where sort of the edge of the farm is going to be. Okay, let's start building. I think it's going to make more sense to me once I actually see it start to come together. So we're gonna build up, I think we'll just place down some dirt blocks as sort of the base, or no, we can do wood because we're going to need wood on the inside anyways, but we do now have to decide which wood. I think we'll do spruce because it's very readily available. And I think a spruce interior or a spruce ceiling will look good anyways. So let's start with that. This grass block is eventually going to turn into the floor. And then we'll need to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the ceiling and the base of the farm. Let's just put a couple, or is that 2, or could we do 3? You know what, I think we can do 3, 1, 2, 3 high, because the idea, no, I lied. It's gonna be 4. Because I wanna be able to put some detail into the ceiling, so I need an extra block space for that detail. Okay, and then I also, I was gonna say, let's just get rid of this for now. Because again, we're gonna build around the farm. So this was just sort of a guideline. We'll leave that one. And we'll leave this one, I suppose. Let me grab some more scaffolding so we can get up and down a little easier. Okay. So this is eventually going to be a hole. Actually, we can make that hole now, because this is where the cactus are gonna fall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to hop up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. It's getting dark. Let's quickly, I do want to test this and make sure that the water flows properly. So let's see if we can really quick, actually it's gonna get too dark and then we won't be able to see. Okay, let's hop down, let's sleep. Let's grab our water buckets, and if I put one here, oh, well that was not what I wanted. Okay, another rack. I know we're doing a lot of work here up top, but I think this is going to be ultimately beneficial, because if we can get these measurements right the first time, it's going to be much easier in the long run to get this done. And it'll be quicker too. So I'm basically making 2 little paths here where the water can only flow in one direction as the path of least resistance. You were right, as soon as you started building, it all made sense. Good. I'm glad to hear that. It started to make sense better in my brain too. I think I was getting a little confused with all the talking and not enough building. Ooh. Okay, we ran out another rack. There is some back at the base, but I don't want to run all the way back there just for that. So I think we can use some dirt blocks. Okay. Moment of truth. If I put a bucket there and then a bucket of water there, the water should all flow and it should hopefully stop right there and not spill over. Yes. Number 2. Yes, there we go, perfect. So now all we need to do is fill out the rest of this rectangle. Let's take this away. Take that away as well. Tear down the dirt in the netherrack and then start building. I love breaking netherrack. It is so satisfying. I love the little pop sound it makes. Okay, we'll gather it all up. I think we're gonna need more spruce planks. So let's make some more real quick. Oops. There we go. All right. Let's keep this going this way. Nailed it. Thank you, Grandpa Meatball. We did nail it. First try, let's go. Oops. Immediately humbled. Immediately. Easy. Now for this side. We also need to decide, let's see, I actually just saw someone do this recently. It was Frog Crafting, who's another Minecraft YouTuber, who also plays in Mizunos, and I really like her style. She used trap doors, not for water, but for a campfire, but she placed a block, put the trapdoor on it, and then broke the block. And then could put the campfires inside. And I think that might be a good way to contain the water without taking up too much space or taking up a whole nother block space. So let's try that, which means we're gonna need lots of trapdoors. You use spruce for trapdoors, right? Or you need blocks? I have so many slabs, you guys. I don't need all these slabs. Whatever. Let's get the logs. Make a bunch of planks. We can make a ton of trapdoors. We're gonna need them in the future anyways. Let's just use all of these, make a bunch of trapdoors. Okay, I think that should be enough. And we have dirt blocks. Okay, so basically, you put and then ideally now, if I break the dirt block, that will stay there. Yes. I think I would rather it open downwards though, just for my own neurotic peace of mind. Let's see. Can we place them down and then they flip up? Yes. Okay, so we should be able to do this all around the outside. And then that will contain, what happened? Did I just turn the sound off? No. And then that will contain the water. Hold on, let me check. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I accidentally paused our music. We need the music for good vibes. Okay. This is precarious, to say the least. Oh, yep, that one went the wrong way. That's okay, we'll pick it up later. Or we'll pick it up right now. Okay, let's keep going. This is gonna take me a while. How is everybody doing today? Anything new going on in your life? Anyone excited for the holidays? I am filming this in mid-October, so it is currently spooky season. And then it'll be Thanksgiving, and then it'll be Christmas. But I don't do a ton of stuff for October or Halloween. I'll put out some decorations. But when I was in high school, my friends and I loved Halloween, middle school and high school really. But we loved Halloween. We would have a big Halloween party every year at someone's house. We'd all dress up, we'd all go trick-or-treating, even into middle school. I think that's okay, right? You can trick-or-treat when you're a middle schooler. And then once we got into high school, when it was a little too much for us to be trick-or-treating, we would go to haunted houses. And we wouldn't go to random haunted houses, because I know sometimes people do that. They'll just like set up a haunted house in their home, or like a warehouse or something. We would go to places that were like set up in event centers that where they weren't allowed to touch you. Because I know some places, some haunted houses do a thing where they can like touch you and grab you and move you and stuff, and I mean, that's a little too much for me. Grandpa Meatball says, Minecraft Halloween, where you go around to all the villagers and get a little treat from them. I like that. We could do that here in our little town. Do like a Halloween stream that weekend. And we can say, we'd have to say Emerald for treat, because they unfortunately do not give stuff away for free, no matter what time of year it is or how nicely you ask. But I think that would be fun. Let's make a little plan to do a Minecraft Halloween here in our cozy mountain village that also needs a name. If you guys have any name ideas or name suggestions for this place, I would love to hear them. We can choose one that we like. We can put up a little sign somewhere with the name on it. And if you contribute a name, and if we like the name and we choose that name, then I will record both your username and your name suggestion on this little document I have. And once we get a little further in the building of this world, I'm going to create a hall of names. And everyone who names something, their name will literally be written into this world as record of the people who built it and who named it and who created these little towns and stuff. Well, this is a little town. I have some plans for some big towns in the future. But one step at a time, we'll get there. We're definitely getting our cardio in on this build. We're getting our cardio in and we're really testing our ankle strength with all of these drops to the ground. Nope. Third time's the charm. Nope. Third time's the charm. No. Okay, that was the fourth try. Let's see if we can do fifth time's the charm. There we go. Nope. Again. Last three. Oh, we were so close, you guys. We were so close. Last one. Wait, I can just do it from the bottom. Why didn't I do that before? It would have been so much easier to do it from the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now we should be able to take out all of the dirt. And if we put the water down, it'll flow. Yeah. And same thing on this side. Oop, not there. Right there. Perfect. So we're gonna line this whole side with water. And then we'll put some down here as well. But that's gonna work out pretty good. Now we're gonna need a way. We're gonna need a way to enclose this little drop chute here. Now I might just do that with solid blocks. I think it'll be a little easier. But let's see. Okay, I think I'm happy with the spacing. I think we're gonna need to cut into this hill a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see, and we're gonna need hoppers and chests, which I do already have. I have 10 hoppers. Got 24 chests. We're not gonna need that many, but I made some extra. We're also gonna need the sand for the cactus to go on, and then the cactus themselves. Can cactus grow on other stuff besides sand? I'm not sure. We'll look that up in a moment. Okay, let's make this dropper chute so we can get rid of these. Let me take a quick sip of water. Don't forget to stay hydrated out there, everyone. Now, I'm not sure exactly how the hoppers work with stacking onto chests. So I know that, like, for example, okay, this hopper's gonna go into this chest. I feel like we don't need more than one chest because this, I don't know exactly, this is a lot of space for the cactus to fill up, and I feel like it's not gonna go so fast that we're gonna run out of chest space. Of course, if I say that, then I will be proven wrong, but how about this? If we end up filling up the chest super fast and needing more space, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think it's not gonna be too difficult to, what's the word? Redo or rebuild. Let's place 2 more trapdoors on either side just to make this a well-rounded, that's a chest. That's not what I wanted. Grandpa Meatball says, cactus can be placed on sand, red sand, and suspicious sand according to the wiki. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for looking that up. Very helpful. So we do need the sand. We're gonna have to figure out how to make the sand work, because my concern is that sand needs a block under it or it'll fall. If I place the sand on the wood, is there a chance that the cactus will get caught behind the blocks of sand on the water and not make it into the hopper system? Or will they flow around without issue? I don't know. So that's something we can test once we get it all sort of set up. But let me just test these hoppers. I think I set them up right, but we'll just make sure. And if I throw these cactus, they'll go down the hoppers into the chest. Yes, perfect. Okay, so the hopper system is set up correctly. Now it's about to get dark. Okay, we'll try. Oops. We may need some light up here as well. Well, we don't need light yet. Okay, the sun is gonna set. I know we're gonna need a bunch more water, so while we're waiting to be able to sleep, let's go grab some water buckets. These are supposed to be used for the furnaces with the lava, but I forgot to grab more buckets from home. So we're just gonna steal those for now. Don't tell the blacksmith. Don't tell the blacksmith. We're just borrowing them. We'll give them back. There's no worries. Let's gather up some water. Oops, maybe not. Oh no. Uh-oh, have I broken our pond? Because this pond is not infinite water sources. I think it maybe is right here. Oh, I'm just picking it up and putting it back. That's 0% helpful. Okay, there we go. So there's an infinite source right here. We could take that. No, come back. Why? Pick it up. Oh, shoot. That's why it's not picking up. Okay, we don't need wheat seeds. And now it's getting dark. Let's run back over here. Take a moment to admire the Aurora Borealis. How beautiful. And we'll take a little sleep. Okay. Let's build this farm. So we've got the sand. How many are we across? So we're gonna need to start one in like that, I believe. And we can just do every other in this nice little grid. Let's see. We'll do that. Ooh, we may not have enough sand. Yeah, we're about to run out of sand. We have 5 more we need. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, are we 1 short? Of course. We're 1 short. Well, how about this? We can remove this one. Maybe we just won't put sand there. Okay. We've got the sand, we've got our water. Let's just see how this goes. Okay, so water bucket. I'm gonna do a source block on each of these. So ideally, it'll all ultimately flow downward. However, let's see. Okay, it fills in down here, but not along the sides. And if I put that there, ooh, then it kind of goes. Let's see. We can put another source block. I think we are gonna need the sand there. Okay. Let's just put some more. Okay, let's see where all of this flows. Let's put a placeholder dirt block here. And so for example, if I throw a dirt block there, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. But if I put one here, it'll go around. Yes, yes. It got stuck on this dirt block. What if that's gone? Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. This is a good start. I think the overall layout is good. We do have some troubleshooting and problem solving to do, but that's okay. Sometimes it helps to take a little break and then come back to things. Let's just for kicks and giggles, let's set up some of these. And I'll grab one of these sand blocks, put it here, and we can put the, what are they called? We can put the fences up, and I think I do have more cactus. We'll put the fences up so that it technically, like part of it is set up and working, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, I have more sand right here. Look at that. Okay. Let's punch these cactus. We'll take the sand. We'll set these up. Let's just tear down this whole thing. Fill in the water with dirt. Easy peasy. Oh, oops. What was that? Wait, I'm jumping down too. Does that mean that the sand can hover? No. Maybe I was just breaking, okay, I think I was just breaking the block beneath. because my shovel is too good. Efficiency 3, that's not that good. We will need these fences for the farm. We can just break that. We have plenty of leaves. And inventory's full. Let's consolidate our used buckets. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I'd also like to introduce you all to our newest horse. This is a she, a girl. She does not have a name yet. We rescued her from a hole last stream. If you missed that, go back to episode 3 for Mission Horse Rescue. Okay. We can put one more block of sand here to save my OCD. And then let's put all these cactus in. Oh, I almost jumped on it. Ah! Okay, if I throw a cactus, okay, it's going into the hopper. Maybe it was just that dirt block for whatever reason. Silly little dirt blocks. Okay, now we need to place these spruce fences in this block up here in between them. So, yeah, like that. Except, so that's basically what's gonna happen once the cactus grow up one, then they're gonna get hit by the fence. Or the fence will break them. I don't know exactly how or why that works. Maybe it's because the hitboxes of the cactus are slightly bigger than just a single block. So when they grow, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. So when they grow up one, navigate this water. There's probably an easier way to do this, but it's working for the moment, so I really don't care. Okay, that's all we need. Let's go here. We'll make a little line coming this way. No. I lost my train of thought. Basically, I don't know why it works, but I know it does work. Okay, one more line of... this is getting more difficult. Is it almost nighttime again? Time is flying by. Okay, so we can take out the ones in the middle here because those aren't actually going to do anything. And we'll save some resources. Very cool. Cactus can't be placed or have a block placed near them. So once they grow, the fences automatically cause them to break and fall into the water. Very smart. Thank you. I cannot take any credit for it. I looked up how to make a cactus farm, and this is what they said to do, is to put the fences up there. But that makes sense. So it's not just because of the fences, it's any block. So the cactus can't have any block around them. And I guess the fences take precedent over the cactus blocks. Ow. We forgot a couple in here. Okay. So there is now a fence block technically in between like right next to all the cactuses. So then when the cactuses grow up one, the blocks will break them. Okay. Let's see. I think this is the cactus that we threw down, but maybe it's not. Let's put these here, just for storage and safekeeping for the moment. And we're gonna hope that this works. I kind of want to wait and watch it happen. Oh, are we missing? I think we're missing fences there. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. I think they need to have them on all sides. Yeah, okay. Even if they don't, we'll do it just to be safe. Oops. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. We're falling apart. Okay. There. We need one there. Break that one. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. I'm hitting... when I'm using or when I'm navigating through my hotbar at the bottom, I don't use the scroll wheel because I don't have enough precision in my finger to be able to like scroll and hit the box that I want. And my mic, the sensitivity on my, not my mic, my mouse is a little off. So I use my keys and I tap the like numbered keys, but sometimes I'll accidentally reach up and tap like my F keys instead. So that's what happened there. Okay, I think this is good. This should work. They look like little soldiers all in a line. Okay, let's take a note of how many, so there's 10 cactuses in here. So we're gonna move on and do some more planning and terraforming, and we'll come back and check in a little bit and hope that there are more than 10 cactuses. Okay, let's, just to sort of gain some perspective, let's move up our scaffold tower. Okay, so this is what we're working with now. There's the farm. Oh, do I need, we're definitely missing. You could bone meal a cactus just to watch. That's a great idea. Let's do that. And we also need to make sure that the fences are placed properly because I still didn't do it right. And it maybe doesn't matter, but again, I need everything to be laid out properly. So I think we need to put, maybe we don't. I was gonna say, do we need to put fences like in between? See, like there's a fence in between these two cactus. Do we need to have them here and here as well? Or are the ones to the side good enough? I mean, just to be safe, we could place them in between all of them, but see, I know I have a bunch of bone meal. I think it's in here. Yes. Let's bone meal up this cactus. Let's go to one of the ones back here. I'm trying. It's not, the bone meal isn't working. Hold on. Maybe, can you bone meal cactus? Let's move it. I'm clicking it. I promise it's not bone mealing. Is this a me problem or a cactus problem? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume it's a me problem, because it usually is. And I think we are going to place fences. No, you can't. I was wrong. Grandpa Meatball. You led us astray. That's okay, no worries. Everything else has been very helpful so far. So I appreciate all your help. And if I could just help myself. Navigate through here better. Okay, again, I don't know if this is overkill or if this is necessary. But I'm the type of gal who would rather be safe than sorry. Oh, I heard a little sound. I think that may have been a cactus growing and breaking. I'm not certain, but we may have just had our first cactus. Successful cactus. Oh, look, yep, there it is, and it got stuck. Well, there was another one. I heard it. But I may also just be catching them because I'm in here. Ow. Okay. I think we now have, except for that one right there. Okay, we're gonna go put it. We're gonna go put one more fence down. We're gonna go put one more fence down, or up rather. Put one right here. And then we're gonna leave it be. Okay, there's 11. Okay, now there's 13. You can see a little water dripping from the bottom. That's funny. Okay, there's 13 cactuses. We're gonna come back in a bit. We're gonna check it out again, and there's gonna be more. Now, that was a lot of brain work. I am pleased with where we are at so far. Again, I'm gonna need to figure out what to do about that second level, because I would really like all of it to work and to flow. But that means the water needs to flow too. Okay, I have a quick idea. This just came to me. What if we place water buckets in these spots? will things flow? Okay, so that's flowing. But now my question is, if we do that like here and here and here, will it create, like, will that be too much water? Will it be too waterlogged and they'll just float, or will they still flow down? You won't know unless you try, but we are out of water in the water buckets, so let's go, we can go get some more water like we did last night. And then we'll try that in the morning. And we can say hello to our axolotls. Hi guys, how's it going? Make sure there's still 4 of them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. Again, there used to be 5. I know I mentioned this in the world tour video. There used to be 5, and there used to be a blue one, the super rare blue one that I got from a lush cave, and then somehow it died. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know why, but I was very sad. Did I just pick up? I just picked up a, okay. Let's try this. And I should be able to place them here as well, and it won't overflow. Okay, now let's get the bone meal. Let's throw it. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. That it's not actually gonna flow down. Which makes me feel like, uh-oh, have I created, I think I may have created some infinite sources here. Okay. Let's do this, because this was everywhere that we placed a water bucket. Did this just create more infinite sources? No. Oh, wait. Okay, but now that's flowing and getting stuck. Great, thank you so much. Okay, I'm confusing myself more. Okay, we're gonna come back to that. Yeah, see, that's getting stuck there. Okay, let's do this. Let's just block all of this off for now. No, we need something. Oh, yay. There, we saw one work. Okay, so it's working. If I throw that there, so it is working, but not perfectly. So, yeah, because look, it's getting caught. They're getting caught. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do some experimentation, and I'll do that off stream because I don't wanna take too much time here doing all that. Which is fine, let's see. Okay, 16, so the number of cactuses is increasing. We'll keep it at 18, we'll come back and check on it again later. Let's put all these water buckets here. If you have not already, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It helps this stream out so much. And what's next? Okay, we need to do some terraforming. I need to turn my brain off and stop thinking about this farm and just smash some dirt blocks instead. So let's take a quick look from above. We can compare what we have right now to our plans. So this is the area that we're working with. And as a reminder, this is what we need to build. So we've got the cactus farm set up here. That's very good. We're gonna build out the house and the store. We've already kind of marked out the dimensions of where those are gonna go. Let's work on terraforming. So we need to adjust this path here. We need to flatten this out a little bit more. And then we'll smooth out the edges here for the beetroot and the flower farms. These are going to be sort of tiered farms going down in like step by step. Let's see, in terms of the cactus farm, Grandpa Meatball says maybe you could put the hopper under where they get stuck instead. Let's see, let's think about that. We could put hoppers under there. If we put hoppers under there, would the water flow into the hoppers? Would it affect that at all? Because I don't know if water can go on top of hoppers. Let's see. We can try that real quick. So we know they were getting stuck. Yeah, okay, look, they're getting stuck here. So if we take that out, the water's gonna flow down. And we put a hopper there. Okay. So that's not affecting. Okay, so let's see if this hopper, this is a good experiment. We're gonna see if that hopper ends up collecting some of these cactus. And if it does, then we can just run some hoppers from here all the way over to this hopper and then have it drop down. Okay, that might solve the issue of them getting stuck right there. So, good idea. Thank you, Grandpa Meatball. Let's leave that for now and we'll come back and check on it. And let's do a little bit of terraforming instead of the corner cactus, maybe. Oh, like instead of next to it, like here where this cactus is. Okay, I'll say if it works, if we come back in a bit and we do find the hoppers there, then maybe we can do that. I mean, we'd still gonna need to run, even if we put it there, we'd still have to run that hopper over to those other ones. So I think it doesn't necessarily matter exactly where we put it. As long as there is a hopper underneath, like those areas where they're getting stuck. And now I am using a hoe, a farming tool, to turn all of this path block to tilled land. However, I learned also from frog crafting that if you do that, If it doesn't have a water source, it'll just turn back into dirt. And then you've gotten rid of your path blocks without having to actually tear them out and replace dirt, which is super easy. So we'll give those a second, and we will now need to replace our path blocks after we do some of the terraforming. So I think this first layer here, this is going to be beetroot, and then let's grab extra dirt blocks so we can both break and place. Tools, cactus farm, wood and dirt. And 1 spruce block. Let's eat. We're hungry. Let's drink. Everybody, if you've got a drink, take a little sip, stay hydrated. Okay. Let's break some of this grass. So this is going to be path. I think. Let's take a, hold on. I gotta check. Yeah. Or we have it come all the way down and it's level with the beetroot. No, I want it to be 1 up. That gives it a little more dimension. But only 1. Okay. Let's fill this back in. So this is where the path is going to be. Ooh, it's raining. See if we get a thunderstorm or not. And we'll try and make this curve a little more natural. Let's see, this is going to be, I think this path is going to be a little more straight, because I do want to connect to this little spot right here. You can maybe take this out, and then you'll walk down. And I always like to do 2, so that we can use slabs to step down instead of stairs. Or maybe stairs would be nice here. No, we'll do slabs. So we'll be able to place slabs here. We can do that now, just we don't have to jump. Is it nighttime as well? Yeah, it's getting dark. Let's sleep. We'll sleep outside in the rain. And let's grab some slabs. Do we have a rainbow? We should have a rainbow. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. And soon we'll have a gorgeous farm here and a big, beautiful house and shop to admire as well. The music is perfect for a morning after a rainstorm. Let's drop some of these here. Okay. So this path is going to curve and it'll drop down as well. Maybe we can have this, not you, dirt block. We can have this sort of round out a bit more, so it's not such a steep curve. 1, 2. Because Because what would make sense? We kind of branch off. If we put, like this will come here and sort of branch off like that. And then we've got a bit of a straight line there. I think that's okay. But it would be like little slabs here. I think that's good. That feels natural. And we can cut out some of this a little more. And then you go up here, walk along. Okay, I think that's good. And come up here. And then this is going to be the storefront. And this path, we'll put this path in a little bit, maybe towards the end. Let's go check on this hopper. Cool. So yeah, that's working. 20. There should be more than 20 in there. Maybe they're all getting caught. Maybe they're all just getting caught here and they're not even making it to this one. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, well, let's remember that. So this is definitely catching ones. So yeah, maybe we just have the hoppers coming down this way, and then we could put the block, this guy sideways. Something like that. I think we'll know better as well once we start to build out the actual house, like the structure around it. But I do want to set that aside for now, just because it's going to help my brain to take a little break and come back to it later. And we're going to keep terraforming here. So can we make this a more gradual step up? We could really like cut that away and put another retaining wall here, because we're gonna have storage up here. I'm gonna take this down. Clear this away a little bit. Get rid of these grasses. They're cluttering up my view. Okay. Let's come take a look from above. It always helps to step back and see your work from a distance. Okay. Yeah, that's a little jagged. We're definitely gonna need to smooth that out. And then I think we'll just smooth it out. We won't build a retaining wall necessarily, but we'll leave maybe that double block here. And then we'll cut out that path. This is already looking pretty good up here. We're gonna cut this away. We can maybe start to mark out where the pond is gonna be and start to mark out where these farms are gonna be up there. So let's do that, and then we'll take a little break because we're coming up now on an hour and a half. My goal is to go for 3 hours here, so that means we're about halfway through. We'll take a little break here at the halfway mark. I need a snack. I need to refill my water, take a little stretch break. We should all take a little stretch break. If you've been sitting for a while, it's always good to get up and move around a little bit. Your body really needs that. Okay, how about that? We can do a little more here so it's more of a curve. Let's leave that for now. Let's mark out, we can grab our netherrack. Let's mark out where this water is gonna come from. Oh, it's all the way over here. Okay, so it's these 2 blocks. But I want the pool to come over here, like this area. So my question now is, do we keep the source of where the water starts in line with here and have it come out from here and then maybe like curve around and come down into here? Or do we say no one's gonna know unless they come up and look over this ridge and look at each side and just have the water source come out here and fall down in a straight line? Or do we adjust the pond? No, because this is already such a nice little curve here, and this is more organic. You can see, wait, let's take a little look. This is where, so this used to be this big crack going through the landscape here, and it opens up over, does it open up over here? Is it all closed off? Anyways, I fully closed it off because it doesn't really make sense for there to be a big crack in the land. Let's close that back in. This pond is only going to be like 1 or 2 deep, so it's fine. We can kind of mark out the shape of it. Let's see, and then we'll come in 1. Is that, yeah. Okay, that is pretty, that's a little symmetrical. We'll make it a little more asymmetrical, a little more organic. Like that. Let's do that for now. Sun is going down. Okay, I think we will need to mark out this path because it's gonna sort of show where the boundaries are. Let's see, what did we say over here? So this just has it kind of curving up and around. And when I have that pond in, coming in way more shallow and not sticking out as far. Okay, let's put the path in and then we can sort of mark out the farms. Why is that one not going away? Okay. So let's say that's the path. Let's take a little sleep. I am now out of water. So as soon as I get thirsty again, we're gonna take a break. Okay, there's that. And I actually do want to fill this back in a little bit. I made it a little bigger than intended. Let's do okay, let's do that for now. Let's use the netherrack to mark out where these farms are gonna go. So we need 3 different sections here. One for the glowberries, one for the cocoa beans, one for, what's the last thing we're doing? My brain has lost it. One for the cocoa beans, glowberries, and glow lichen. Can you even harvest glow lichen like that? For now, I'm gonna assume yes. And if we need to pivot and adjust, we will do that later. Okay. So the glowberries are gonna need to hang. So let's say we can do this sort of tiered. So if there's like 3 rows of hanging glowberries there. And then I think we had these, we do the glow lichen and then the cocoa beans. So we want, I do want a little path here to get to the pond. And this, which means I want it to be sort of symmetrical. So this would be sort of the middle of the pond, which means we would need to bring this out a little bit and sort of expand. And do a little bit of shaping. How's that? That looks pretty good. Let's take this out. I want this to be sort of right in the middle. Okay, so let's just widen up here just a smidge. I almost fell. I need to do, hold on. Let's try and place down 2 deep, just to be safe. Bring this out. We can cut into this a little bit. How does that look? That looks pretty good. So that's about the middle. And then for the glow lichen, we could maybe have it start 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're gonna put the storage here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're out of netherrack. Okay. We're gonna run back and get more netherrack. Now let's think, is there anything else that we might need to pick up from the house? We said something earlier. What was it? Oh, the buckets. So let's get more buckets. We can replenish what we took from the blacksmiths. He will be none the wiser. See, we were just borrowing them. And we're restocking his buckets, so let's do that. Let's get buckets, let's get netherrack, and then let's take a little break. Say hi to the chickens. Hi, chickens. We haven't come over here yet, this stream. Look at our house. Look at our beautiful little garden. Look at how bright those flowers are. It's always nice to come home. Another rack. Another rack is in here. We'll just get a bunch. We can put these wheat seeds away. We're gonna keep the flowers. We can keep everything else. Let's see, we can grab, hi buddy. Let's grab some buckets. 12 buckets, yeah, that's fine. And we can fill some of them with this lava that we have here. And start to stock up lava buckets. Because we shouldn't need to come back here for a little while. We shouldn't need to smelt anything over here for a while. Oh, do we get an egg? No. I heard a little pop. I think one of them laid an egg, but I thought maybe we picked one up. Okay. And there should be, yeah, this is all filled with lava. So let's pick up all this lava as well. And then we can put these in here. Not the nether rack. And the buckets. Okay, sweet. Let's lay out. Let's just finish laying these out. Okay, that kind of comes right up to the edge, but that might be okay. Let's take a look from above. See if this matches our plans. I like this song. I like the beat. Let's eat. I'm getting hungry in real life too. Okay. So cactus farm, this will be the little pond where that little dip is. We've got some laid out nether rack there. So if we come back here, looks pretty similar. We got the pond, some lines for the farm, some storage. It might get a little cramped. We might need more room at some point, but I mean, we could also maybe move the storage out a little further and then extend these farms a little bit, something like that. But I'm super happy with how this is going so far. Next steps will be to finish terraforming this area here. We're gonna make those like nice little curves that we saw in the plans so we can have like graduated fields of flowers going down. And then I think we'll have time as well to do some planning for the sort of blocks and color scheme that we're gonna use for the house build. I know we've already talked about using the grass blocks, but we have to figure out what else we're gonna put together with that. So let's take a break, about 5 minutes, stretch, get some water, maybe get a snack, and then we'll come right back to it. All right, sounds good, you guys. I'll see you soon. And we're back. Hello, everyone. If you're just hopping in to stream, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. Let's get back to it. We have about 1 more hour left of this episode. So we need to do some more terraforming right after we take a quick sleep. Let's hop down. I think it'll be a moment or two before we can sleep, but we can watch the sunset. We can watch the sky turn pretty colors. I love the way the clouds catch the light. These shaders just really do it so well. Okay, and I reckon it's about time. Oh, I forgot to turn the music back on. Hold on, guys. There we go. I was like, something's missing. The music really makes it better. Okay, we got 8 cactus in there, 26 cactus in there. I think we had 25 before. So this one, these hoppers are still catching some. These ones are definitely catching some as well. All right, I'm happy with what we've done. Up here on this top tier, now we're gonna move down here to the lower tier. I do actually want to fill this in a little bit. We can maybe take one out here. And so we have, let's make these dirt blocks again. Okay, so we are gonna go, we have this border here where it sort of drops off. Hold on. Give me 1 second, you guys. I need to adjust some of the storage settings. Okay, I know we just took a break. I need to put the Be Right back on so I can... Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, we already had this kind of natural drop-off point here. Where, like, see this little hill here already existed. And then we just flattened it out a little bit to make room for that original manual cactus farm. And now we need to make these tiered farms. So this first layer is going to be beetroot. And then I think we're going to have 1, 2, 3. Let's look at our... Okay. Let's look at our plan here. So beetroot, 1, 2, 3, all curving down. So 1, 2, 3, which means we need to extend. We need to place a bunch of dirt as well. right? So yeah, this is already up one. Beetroot, flower 1, flower 2, flower 3. So these need to come out all the way. We'll kind of mirror that side. We'll give it a little bit of room. And we'll do a lot of fun dirt placing. I don't know, is this boring to watch? Do you guys like watching, like if you watch other Minecraft people, like if they're just doing sort of the base building stuff like this, placing dirt blocks, is that interesting? Or do you kind of tune out? I've realized, this is just in the past, I don't know, maybe like 6 months or so, that my taste in the kind of content that I like to watch has changed. And I guess it's maybe been a little longer than that, but I do really enjoy watching people stream like chill games like this. I'll go back and watch people's past streams. Or I really like long plays, especially if they have commentary. I think that, I don't know, I've been actively trying to kind of fix the like dopamine brain that everyone's got now, where our attention spans are so fast, or so, what's the word? Like where we don't have a long attention span, short, I guess. Where people have such short attention spans nowadays that they need to have like some sort of new sensory input coming in every couple of seconds or they get bored. And I found that kind of happening to me. Oops, sorry, I bumped the mic. Happening to me, and I couldn't just sit and watch like a slower paced video. And I didn't like that. I don't want that to be my brain. I want to be able to, you know, like slow down and not need such a high level of stimulation in order to watch something. So I was kind of spent some time basically trying to, I don't know, train my brain, or forcing myself to watch like slower paced things in order to kind of rewire my attention span. And it's definitely worked. Like I've watched, I'll go back and watch people play, what's the game? Animal Crossing. Like I'll watch people just stream Animal Crossing. I think it's very kind of similar to Minecraft. And like I said, I do watch a lot of Minecraft content, but I prefer watching long plays and streams over watching, long plays and streams over watching people's like curated, edited videos. And I'll just put them on in the background if I'm like working or doing something else. And it's really nice. It's almost like there's someone else. We're gonna need more dirt. It's almost like there's someone else that I'm like sitting next to and also working next to. So it kind of helps keep me motivated to some degree. And then it's just, I don't know, it's just more chill. Grandpa Meatball says, it's all part of the process. There's always an appreciation for the core purpose of Minecraft, which is placing blocks. Yes, I definitely agree with that. It ultimately, Minecraft is played one block at a time, so you really can't get away from breaking blocks, placing blocks, one after the other. And I definitely agree that's part of the core purpose. And there's definitely something sort of like meditative about it. And you kind of get into a zone where you're not really thinking about it, you're just kind of doing it. Like a flow state almost. And it's also very satisfying. I think that when they were developing Minecraft, they did a good job of creating the sounds that go along with it, like the block breaking and placing sounds. I think kind of scratches that ASMR itch in my brain. Let's take a look. How's this curve doing? Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think we could just make it a little steeper right in here. We can adjust this and then we'll start on the next one. But I can't remember if I actually finished this thought or not. So I'll say it again. But I have really come to enjoy watching like slow, chill footage of people playing games. And that is also kind of what is inspiring me to make this content. This is the kind of stuff that I like to watch. So I figured I'd probably enjoy making it as well. Okay, we're gonna need more dirt and the sun is setting. So let's run back home. Let's grab some dirt. We'll probably need to sleep when we're home as well. Oops. I do really love how Minecraft is such a simple game, and like the graphics are, oh, hello, Mr. Enderman. He has been running around this whole time. I got on early before the stream and did some resource gathering, some organizing, and he spawned in, and he's apparently still here hanging out. So, ooh, yeah, see, if he walks into my line of sight, I'm gonna be pissed. But look, I do like in Mizunos, I think it's cute how he's got the little like suit on with the little striped what's it called? Striped sleeves and striped pants. But we're just gonna leave him be. I'm gonna creep around and go to bed. He can do what he wants. I'm not complaining as long as he doesn't move any important blocks. You are welcome to hang out, Mr. Enderman. Just stay away from me. All right, let's grab this dirt. We are starting to run out of dirt. I mean, it's kind of funny. You can't really ever run out of dirt in Minecraft, but at some point we'll need to go gather some more, which is fine. I do have plans for that anyways. I was thinking that if you remember back to the world tour, there is that big mountain next to the castle that's over in the flower fields. I think I want to take that mountain down and flatten it out. I think that's going to be easier and more in my, current skill and wheelhouse to tear down the mountain rather than trying to build it or like build around it or finish it, because it's kind of like it's like a half mountain is kind of cut off. Excuse me, guys. My nose is running from staring at the screen for so long. So I'm thinking I want to tear down that mountain And that'll also be a good source of stone, because we're gonna need a ton more stone for not only the castle out there, but just building in general. I think a lot of that city that we built out around that castle, stone, like not cobblestone, but regular stone, like smooth stone, is gonna be the main block, or sort of the base block for that. So there's obviously a ton of dirt and a ton of stone over there that we'll be able to use. I want to try something. No, I already know that's not going to work. Maybe that. Let's fill out these next couple of layers and then I'll take a look at that again. Okay, let's just place. We can place sort of randomly right now and we'll come back and refine it. I say as I start refining it already. But, oh, the Enderman interrupted me. I was saying that Minecraft is such a simple game. The graphics are fairly simple. I mean, like, you know, little 8-bit graphics. The concept is simple. Break, block, place, block. That's, like we were saying, that's just the entire main base core concept of it. But because of that, and then it allows for an immense amount of creativity. I went to school for graphic design. That's what I have a degree in. That's what I'm professionally trained in. And one thing that one of my main professors and mentors would always say is that restraint breeds creativity. So when you put restrictions on something, then you have to be a lot more creative when it comes to finding solutions or coming up with new ideas. If you just have a complete blank slate and you can do anything under the sun, that's almost more difficult, because then, you know, where do you start? How do you start to narrow it down, or how do you start to, you know, refine your ideas? But if you have some restrictions already placed on you in whatever you're trying to do, then you have to be, it forces you to be more creative when you're building or problem solving or whatnot. So there is definitely restraint and restrictions when it comes to Minecraft, because it does come down to just that core concept of break and place blocks. And obviously over the years, Mojang has added tons and tons of blocks that you can use for this break block, place block mechanic. But, you know, all of those blocks also have their own limitations. And then you get people who are, you know, amazing builders doing amazing things just by breaking and placing blocks. And of course there is creative world, where that is more of that blank slate, where you can just kind of go in and do whatever you want, and you have all of the possible blocks in the world available to you. And of course people do crazy, crazy stuff in creative worlds. I'm always so impressed. I think that's not really my cup of tea though, because I like the resource management of Minecraft as well, where in order to build what you want to build, you have to take the time to gather the materials to build it. And that is also a restraint. That is also a restriction, where things aren't just readily available to you. You have to like we were just saying, put in the time and the effort to gather your blocks and craft your blocks, and like we're doing with the cactus farm, set up these contraptions in order to better or more efficiently gather blocks. And that's a whole nother type of problem solving in and of itself, is how do you use the mechanics of the game to help you solve your problems or do things quicker or more efficiently. Okay, give me one moment. Let's take a look at these curves that we have built. They're looking good. I think we need a little more depth in this curve. We need this is more of a straight line, so that needs to curve a little more as well. And I think we can pull this tier out like a little more, but it's definitely getting there. Okay, I tried this, I don't like it. Now, what was I saying? I think we were saying, I spoke the words and they immediately left my brain. I think we said pull this out and more, yeah. Have this curve a little more. Break that. And then I think this one can pull back a little bit. It needs, let's see. Yeah. So some curve. Let's fill that in. 1, 2. I think this needs to be more of a 1, 1. Then we can do a 1, 2. And this is a 1, 2. Let me see. I'm going to attempt to explain my sort of process when it comes to terraforming. And I think having the curves like this is a good way to do it. So I always try and keep the number of blocks in a consecutive, is that the word? Consecutive up or down pattern in terms of number of blocks in a line. So for example, here, this is 1 block, 1 block, 1 block. This goes from 1 block, oh, the sun's going down. It goes from 1 block to 2 blocks. And then ideally it would go from 2 blocks to 2 blocks, 2 blocks to 2 blocks, and then 2 blocks to 3 blocks. Does that make sense? So that's more of a curved organic line, and that flows really well rather than having like 1 block, 2 block, oh my gosh. 1 block, 2 blocks, 1 block. See, that kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look as organic to me. Let's sleep. My brain is getting fuzzy. It's been a long day of breaking and placing blocks. Let's get a nice rest in, and then maybe I can explain myself better in the morning. Okay. I did say that we could pull this out a little further. So look here, I have like 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then, sorry, not 3 blocks. There's 3 blocks, but they're all in one. So 1 block, 1 block. Now we're into 2 blocks, 2 blocks. Now this is 3 blocks. Back to 2, back to 2, back to 2, down to 1. So that's what I mean. It would never go like 3 blocks and then 1 block and then 2 blocks. to me, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look correct or organic. There's always has to be a smoother transition from, and so you can go from like 2 to 3 down, back to 2, back to 1, but you have to follow that pattern. Okay. I know we did a little bit of work. Let's take a look up from the top, see how we're doing. How are those curves looking? They're looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think, oh, I know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna make that little transition a little wider. See, look, we have, so you can tell, this, that goes from, I mean, I did say that this is okay, but it still looks a little weird. Like having 1 block to 2 blocks across, then to just 1 block, it like kind of jumps out and kind of catches your eye a little bit in a bad way. But over here where we have 3 to 3 to 2 to 2 to 1, that's like a nice smooth curve. That makes my eyes happy. And I mean, I guess I'm kind of like, look over here now that we have 1 block to 2 blocks to 1 block to 2 blocks. Let's see how that looks once those turn green. I might change it. Yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, we need to extend this curve out a little bit more. And then that might be good for now. Or I think I am gonna try, I'm gonna try to match that bottom curve a little bit better. So we 100%, let's see, yeah, we can just do this. 2 blocks like that. And then we'll have this come here. And we'll have this come in here. And then I know this kind of curves. Let's see if we can just, again, make this a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think this will be fine because this goes from 1 block to 2 to 1, 2, 3 to 2, back to 2, back to 1. And then I wanted to adjust because this goes 2. So let's see, 2, 1, 2. Is this 3 or 4? 1, 2, 3, that's 4, so we can do 3. 3 there. Okay. These are just little changes here now, but I mean, that's kind of what you gotta do towards the end. And here's another good reason for us to get an elytra, because instead of climbing up this scaffolding tower each time we need to take a look, we can just shoot a rocket, fly up into the air, turn around, and take a look as we glide back. And then we also don't have to worry about falling and getting right to the edge. Okay, I was about to say, I really like how this is going. I think we need to press this curve back a little bit. Like, see how this line here is pretty thick and then this is a little thinner. So I want to even that out a little bit more by just like shaving off those blocks. So we're going to do that. I think once we do that, it'll be pretty proportional in the way that I was envisioning, and I think it'll be good. We might need to take down this tree as well. I kind of like it. You know what, we're gonna leave it for now. This tree was already there. That's a natural native tree. Oh, our music stopped. Hold on. There we go, bring that back. So that tree was already there. I didn't place it, I didn't grow it. It existed long before my little square hands touched this place, so I kind of want to leave it. And that's sort of part of my philosophy with this world as well, is as much as possible to leave the terrain unchanged. How's that look? Oh, a wandering trader. Hello. Anything for me? Purple dye, rooted dirt, black dye, pale moss, sea pickle, blue ice. You know what? I am gonna get some black dye from this guy. No. Never mind. I don't need black dye from this guy. Do I? I'll get some. Because we are... Hold on. I think the music is a little too loud. Let me know if the music is too loud, you guys let me know. Let's get some black dye from this trader. We mainly, so here's the thing. Okay, I feel like the music is too loud for me. Give me one moment, let me turn it down. Oh, that's up, that's up. Sorry, guys. Okay, how's that? If it's too loud, let me know. It's still too loud. I need to turn it down. Okay, give me one moment. I'm gonna mute the mic. Okay, how's that? That sounds a little better to me. Trying to figure out, there's so many moving parts when it comes to streaming. So many little things that all have to line up on my end for it to be a good experience for all of you guys. But it's fun. I'm actually really enjoying streaming. Hey, come back here, come here. I've been enjoying it. 3. Oh, 1 emerald for 3. See, I didn't have any black dye so far. What was this? Pale moss. Oh, let's get some of that. Let's get a bunch of that, actually. Oh, okay, just 10. Okay, that's fine. Now, I was just about to say to destroy or not to destroy. To unalive or not to unalive, but this is the first wandering trader we've seen on stream. I want you guys to have a good impression of me, so I'm not going to punch that trader and take his llamas and his leads. I will leave them be for now. Okay. Put these emeralds back. We'll hold on to the moss block and the black dye. This is, I did see, because it said that new recipes popped up. This is the first time we have black dye. So let's go dye a couple of the sheep in here black. So we have a good source of black wool if we need it in the future. And then we'll look at the terraforming one last time. And then we'll hop into our creative world. Boop, boop, nice. And we'll hop into our creative world and do some planning for the color scheme and the materials that we're going to use for the actual house build. So it's getting dark. No, that's my scaffold tower. Let's take one more quick little peek. As long as it in general looks good, then we're gonna move on, because I swear, I could sit here and fiddle around with 1 or 2 blocks all day. Okay, this curve now needs to come in a little bit more. I think on this side, and that side. So we need more 2 blocks and less 1 blocks. And then we're gonna be done. I promise. I promise we'll be done after that. Okay, whew. Only 2 hearts down. That's not too bad. I do have feather falling on these boots, so that's probably why. But that was a pretty bad drop. That would hurt if I was not wearing these boots. Okay, I'm gonna let's just put this back here for now. Let's see, I'll put the playa moss back too, because I don't think we're gonna use it for this build. Okay, like I said, we're just going to, which curve is it? It's this one that needs a little more of a, what's the opposite of steep? Needs to be a little less steep. Maybe like that, and then we can do the single blocks. Oh no, not like that. 1, 2. I'm losing it. 1, 2, 1. Oh, I see. Like this. Let's take a look. Okay, that is almost perfect. We now just have to adjust that. And I think we can do so by just removing that block. Okay, I know it's a lot of back and forth, but let's take one more look. Let's recap what we've done here in survival. Okay, I like that. I think that's definitely looking good. So we have the cactus farm over there that is built up. It needs some work. I need to do some research and some testing on the water flow and where to place the hoppers the best. So thank you for all your help today in getting this set up. It was very successful. I'm very happy with the progress that we made already. We did a bunch of terraforming. We need to decide on the exact placement of the waterfall for the pond, but everything else is looking good. We put this path in here, and then we made these curves really nice and pretty. So we're gonna have some tiered gardens coming down that will be like basically flower gardens for our flowers. And the next step, we have about half an hour left of stream. I wanted to go for 3 hours, so we're almost there. And I think this is the perfect last thing to do. It'll be a little more on the creative side. We're gonna hop into the creative world, and we're going to decide on, or at least start to figure out what color palette we want to do for the actual house, the build. So let's see, we have, I'm thinking spruce and oak and cobblestone and maybe birch. But I'll show you guys how I like to do that. So we're gonna say goodbye to our survival world. We're gonna come into the creative world. It's nighttime, so let's sleep. I showed this in, I think, my last episode or the one before that. But if you haven't seen it yet, this is the super flat creative world. I did keep villages in here when I was doing it because I think it's nice just to have a little bit of life. Let's actually free these guys. Look at that horse. Oh my God, that's a beautiful horse. So that they can wander around. There's some little piggies out there. But it's just nice to have a little bit of extra like life and movement. Okay. Let's work on the color palette for this build. So, as a reminder, here's some of the inspiration. We're definitely doing this sort of green roof with moss blocks and dirt blocks. I think for a gardener, for a dye farm, for a flower farm, that definitely works. And then we're definitely going to be using spruce as the main dark block. And we'll have to figure out what we want the lighter block to be. So, I mean, I do like this one here with the stone, but we haven't really used a lot of stone. I kind of want to keep it to the cobblestone. And this one, oh, yikes, sorry guys. I really like this build. This was definitely an inspiration as well. Let's see if we can just get to the end there. And I like this use of the dark oak, or not the dark oak, the spruce kind of framing the roof. So we have grass. Let's get some moss. We'll grab all the things I know we're gonna need. Let's get spruce logs. We'll get stripped spruce as well. Let's get oak. Because the question here is going to be what block we use for the like the lighter part. Let's grab birch because we have a lot of birch. I like the birch doors a lot. Okay, and so this is what I'll do. So let's get cobble. Cobblestone or stone. I know I just said I wasn't gonna do this, but we might actually do this. Okay, so this is how I'll start. Like for example, this is the color palette for the Alchemist's Tower that we are going to build next after this flower farm. So I know we're gonna have these like support beams and we might do them stripped. I haven't done stripped spruce yet in this world. And then on the inside, oh wait, we're also gonna do, we're gonna do barrels at the bottom. Not like that. Not like that either. Like that. Already, I think it looks better with the full spruce. And actually that matches the full spruce matches the village better in general. So here we have our two frames. Emanuele says, build it. That is the goal, Emanuele. I am working on building it. Thank you for tuning in to watch me. Okay. So, actually, let's put the cobblestone on this side. Again, cobblestone better matches the original, what's it called? The original village, the base Minecraft village. Here, let's look from this side so we can see it in the light. That's a little better. Cobblestone matches the original village, but I do kind of like this stone. And I want this build to kind of come out. Let's build it up one more because it's definitely going to be a little taller than this. Okay. So basically what I'm doing is creating a sort of flat kind of front face of like what the build might look like, and then just adding in some of the smaller elements. Let's take a look at the birch. What is this? Stripped birch wood or the oak. So we can kind of see how these colors look next to each other. Let's build this up a little higher. And I think I kind of want to do, yeah, we'll have these climbing up the sides as well. Okay, so out of all of this stuff, what do we like? Let's put the roof in. Spruce. So this is definitely I'm finding it for some reason difficult to talk and build at the same time. I don't know why. Maybe it's being creative. Maybe my like brain is just working in a different way. Because I do have to kind of focus on like flying around too, which isn't the easiest. And I hope that it's okay for you guys to watch, because I am moving pretty fast. And hopefully no one's getting sick or anything. Not to jinx you all about it or whatever. Okay. I don't like that. Hold on. Because I want to see, I kind of want to see more like what the roof is going to look like with the moss and the stone kind of tiered side by side. It is raining. So let's place some of these grass blocks up here. Switch it out with the moss, grass, moss, grass, grass, oops. And then we put like the moss here, grass, moss, moss, grass, moss, moss, grass. Okay, so that helps a little bit. I'm gonna do one more layer. Okay, I do not like the rain. Let's see. The rain is getting a little loud. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Hang in there, we'll be able to sleep in a moment. Grass, grass, moss, grass. Okay. So now we've got a little bit of a feel here for the roof. And I'm even gonna put these stairs here, because this is what I'm looking for. Oops, did not mean to do that. Okay, I reckon we can sleep, yes. Okay, so taking a look now. What do we like? I'm thinking I like the birch over the oak. Yeah, I like that better. Now, stone or cobblestone? Let's also put a little window in here. We can do because we need to figure out the kind of glass we want to use as well. Here, let's look kind of from this side. Let's see. And we need to pick a door. So I think we're gonna use a birch door because, oops, oh no, what's happening? We're gonna use a birch door. I did use a birch door for my starter house, so there's already precedent set on using a birch door. And then I think I'm gonna bring in spruce planks to use as sort of an accent, because the vanilla spruce village homes use spruce planks a lot. That's already established. So we'll use those as sort of like an extra detail, and then anything else we do detailing wise will be spruce. Now we just have to decide if we like the cobble or the stone. I think I'm gonna eat my words and say that I like the stone. I said I wasn't going to use the stone, but I kind of like that better than the cobblestone. I feel like it's pretty busy already. Like the pattern here of the spruce planks and then having all of these like small shapes going on in the roof is a lot of little small detail. And the cobblestone is also a lot of really small detail. And since we're getting a little more complicated with like the roof design and stuff, I think that's overwhelming, and that the stone bricks provide more of that visual contrast to the busyness of the spruce and the roof. The birch here and then the stone bricks is more simple. And so for texturing, we would do moss blocks and mossy stone brick. And now that we got pale moss, we could try that. So we'll do stuff like that for the texturing. And we need to decide on glass. So this is where this comes in handy. We can come and take a look at all of the different types of glass and see what we like best. These here are stained glass. They have a color. I do believe that this one is green. So we could, oh, that says yellow. But if you look in the little corner here, it looks kind of greenish. So there's a potential for that one. Offhand, this one is catching my eye. I just like those kind of diamond shapes. And this one is as well, but I think we already said we're gonna use that. Oh no, we've used that one already. So there is precedent set for using the pink stained glass. So let's fly back over here. And we can pop some of these in. Let's see, we're not gonna see the pink unless we have that. And then this is the light blue. Should have built this a little further away because I want to be able to see behind it. Okay, offhand. Let's see, let's make this the same. At first glance, what do we like better? I'm kind of feeling the pink stained glass here. Again, for the same reason as I stated, I wanted this, I think the stone better than the cobblestone because it's a little cleaner. There's less mess, there's less going on. And again, like I said, we've already used the pink stained glass in a previous build, so it'll already kind of look like it fits in with the world and with the town. However, I am kind of liking the yellow stained glass because of the color. It's kind of bringing together the green from the top and then the green that we're going to use to texture. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, either now in chat or later in the comments below if you're watching the VOD of this. Opinions are always appreciated. This is our world. We are building it together, so I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's just pick some leaves to go around. I like to switch up the leaves that we use. So we have plenty of oak leaves. We also have azalea leaves. Also flowering azalea, we're definitely going to use those. Let's see, spruce, birch, because we're using the birch wood maybe. Let's see. Dark oak, we don't have a lot of dark oak. Where's the spruce? Oh, spruce leaves. Michelle says, I feel like the pink is more of a statement piece. Is there going to be a single window at some point where it would stand out more? I agree with you there. It's definitely more of a statement. I mean, as of yet, we don't have plans for a statement window, but I like that idea. So maybe we could incorporate that into the build and say that we're going to use the pink and we can put a statement piece, like we can use the use of this colored glass to inform the build and build a statement piece. I think that would look really pretty on one of the walls. So, and especially since, let me get to especially since if it's only one tall, then you don't see this little curve in this statement, but you still get that double line. So we can do like one statement window with these big tall ones, and then we can still use the pink stained glass. And then for the other smaller windows, it won't look so fancy, but it'll still be the same one. So I like that suggestion. We'll put on the, ooh, look at this. We can put in our design notes, insert one row below, statement window with pink Grandpa Meatball says, I like the pink a little better overall. It feels a little more of the time per se. Okay, perfect. Then I think we are all in agreement. We are going to move forward with the pink stained glass and we'll build a statement window into the piece. Awesome. All right. We are coming up on the last maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of stream. I'm just gonna throw some leaves up here and we can take a quick little look and maybe pick the specific leaves that we want to use. We're definitely going to use flowering azalea. I think for a floral build where we are growing and farming flowers, we definitely need some flowering azalea. So let's take a little sleep and then we'll come back and see what these look like better in the light. Okay. What do we think? Offhand, right off the bat, I don't like the spruce. I think the color doesn't quite line up. It's a little too cool of a color. I want this to be a little warmer. The birch is okay. I think maybe the birch and the, oops, what's this? Where's the birch? Maybe the birch and the azalea kind of go together. Like they're a little different, but they're kind of the same. But the birch and the oak also go together. I think I kind of want to use the birch because we haven't really used birch a lot. Maybe some vines. They feel like they take up a little too much space. Yeah, I agree. We don't want to get too crazy with the grass blocks or the leaf blocks, especially since we're already using grass and moss in the roof. So we can definitely do more with the vines. We can be more sparing with the leaves. And I think we might just go classic oak leaves. Let's see, I'm gonna put that one back. Let's see. We've been using mainly oak. Mainly oak and, what's the word? Spruce leaves in all of these builds. So I think we're gonna stick with the oak. We can definitely use a lot of vines. I like using vines anyways. And then, oh, we could even put, like in the roof here, some of these can be oak leaves. So we're still using the oak, but then they're sort of integrating into the space instead of sticking out and taking up space. Take that one down. Okay, so I'm liking the oak leaves. And then maybe we can use the flowering azalea as like bushes along the paths over the flower farm. I think that makes a little more sense. Okay. This looks really good, you guys. I like this. I think we've got a nice, pretty little color palette. I think this will make a lot of sense for a flower farmer and the dye farm. And I think it does still fit really well within the, oops, sorry, tap the mic. I think it does still fit really well within the town itself. Our cute little mountain town. Now, I'm gonna say it again, it needs a name. We do need a name for our little mountain town. Something that feels kind of medieval and fantasy without being, you know, too out there, that still feels a little grounded. So if you guys have any ideas for that, please drop them in the chat or the comments of the video below. And once we find a good name, we can put up a little sign, we can name the town, and then it'll be a little easier to refer to it in the future. But I think that we are just about done here. This has been a solid 3 hours. And my eyes are a little strained. I think my brain is a little fried, but I'm so happy with all the progress that we made. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so now before the video is over. At some point, I'll have to figure out how to get alerts up when people subscribe, because then I can thank you in the moment. But for now, I just have to thank you all in general. And thank you for the advice that you left as well on the build, for help with the farms. It's definitely a team effort over here. I want this to be our world that we are building and creating together. So unless anyone has any last thoughts, comments, or suggestions, I will say goodbye to you all for now. I think that this is a good time to stream, Saturdays at 3 p.m. This works out for me, and if it works out for you guys, great. If there's other times that work for you better, please drop them in the comments, let me know. Like I said, I would like to stream twice a week, ideally, so we can say Saturdays at 3 p.m. as sort of a standing thing, and then I'm still experimenting with some of the other days and times. Maybe a morning on a Tuesday or a Thursday would work for me, or Tuesday, Thursday evenings, something like that. Grandpa Meatball says, fun time, we'll try to come up with some good names on the next one. Perfect, I'm glad to hear it. Let's brainstorm over the rest of the weekend, and next time we can lock in some names. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I'm gonna end it here. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you all again soon.